Alright now, family. Back again, one more time, with this real facts, real black history, real situations that's altering, real growth within the black community. And I'm here to be a tour guide, so to speak, to get your mind right, being more conscious about oneself as a melanated being, as an indigenous person, as just a brother or a sister that just, have questions or thought about certain things and never really got the right answer, never really added up to you, didn't really make no sense. I'm here to shed some light on the darkness for the people. Today's topic is on the American Birth Control League. Yes, the American Birth Control League. It's a very important organization that was founded in 1921 by this woman named, what was her name? Um 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 Stringer, Marriott Stringer. I think it was Stringer. Margaret Higgins Stringer. Was it Stringer? I don't really believe it was Stringer. It sounds different. Sanger? Margaret Higgins Sanger, I believe it is. Yeah, she founded that after being poo-pawed by the Zionist people over there, them Jews over there. Actually funded that for her. Same people that funded Adolf Hitler. Same people that funded the rest of the wars that then went on in the world since then over land and other people's stuff and other people's property and other people oil and other people gold, other people get diamonds. You get the point. Yeah, so she was a pawn for the big people that funded her. Um, you know, that one eye team, them dudes and ladies, they funded her and got her with the jump off to say, well, you know what, we need you to come up with something that's going go ahead and depopulate the masses, get the people dumbed down, and stop them from producing as fast as we, or eliminate their whole concept of producing, period, as being people. Whiting out the blacks. That's the name of the game. Whiting out the blacks, eliminate the blacks. That's the name of the game. When slavery was abolished, when they came up with the 13th Amendment and they said that slavery is abolished, I want you to know that you can't just go off the subtitle of, hey, slavery is abolished, we're no longer slaves. We are still slaves. In fact, if you read that full amendment, right, all the way down, like read the whole thing and not just the part that say, hey, black people not slaves no more, so everybody happy, we all equal. If you read all the way down to the bottom, it will tell you that, the slaves that are not slaves no more, so to speak, are still indefinite slaves if, i.e., society don't hold them as a member of the society, if they have probably or possibly committed a crime or a misdemeanor or a felony, or if they are incarcerated. So if you fall in the category of these three things, 9 times out of 10, you're still a slave. The majority of the Caucasian people in the world do not necessarily see blacks and brown people as civilized people. We still looked at as a lower species, a lower form, a lower people. So with that being said, it's crazy because just to go off their definition of what they wrote in the amendments of the free slaves and all that, we're still slaves because they still see us as less than them. They still see us as uncivilized people and will no longer be civilized from their point of view. Ain't no way in hell we can be civilized, even though The Africans are the ones that civilized the Horus nomads that went into Europe in 1500 BC. But I digress. Even though we civilized them, we can't be civilized. But it's cool. Give you some feedback on this American Birth Control League. It was founded by Margaret Sanger in 1921. The first birth control conference was held in New York, New York, Manhattan. This was in 1922 in April. I'm gonna give you some backwash on it. You see how I just told you that it was founded in 1921 by Margaret Sanger? Sanger was just a pawn on the chessboard. She was a nobody on the chessboard. She just got some popularity because she was racist as hell, like the rest of the eugenics movement that spawned from Charles Darwin and his cousin, Mr. Gaston, with this whole eugenics thing. So when they popped all that off, it was crazy because they needed to come out with a way to depopulate the black and brown people after slavery. Because around this time, we already done came up off of slavery, then got on our A game. Black Wall Street was popping. They inflicted martial law on Black Wall Street, which caused the white people, them Caucasians, to go through there and burn it down, bomb it, and kill everything down there in Black Wall Street. Which is the fuel that's behind the people saying, well, man, I don't want to fuck with them crackers. I don't want them to say anything to me that's bad, and I don't want to say nothing that's bad about them, even though they've been fucking my people up forever in the day, by the way. But it was actually 1915, Mary Coffin Ware-Dennett was the head person that came up with the concept of the American Birth Control League. Later turned into Planned Parenthood in 1942. It turned into Planned Parenthood in 1942. The organization promoted and the founding of birth control clinics primarily in Latino brown people and African black people communities, and encouraged women to take birth control to alter their fertility. Now this is crazy because the Birth Control League was in these times, we dealing with the early 1900s. They was in about 30 major cities across the country. Okay. This Margaret Sanger chick, the pawn lady, she actually held 15 different meetings with the Ku Klux Klan. Grand Poobahs of the Ku Klux Klan of different chapters across the United States actually got in contact with her and asked her to come down and speak at their rallies. Kill the black man, chop off their head, hang them up, lynch them, stump their teeth in the curve and all that thing. She was talking at all those rallies, and they favored her because they was in a loop with her. She was talking about depopulating people, birth control, and sterilizing women, sterilizing men so they can't have children or reproduce. And they was all with that. It's the KKK. They down for shit like that. So she was in a loop with those people, along with the Rothschilds and the Bilderbergs and the rest of them people that been taking all your shit forever. You probably don't know, but I just gave you two names, so go ahead and Google it. It's lunchtime right now. I'm definitely about to eat. It's lunchtime right now. I'm definitely about to eat and handle this business that I got going on. But I just wanted to give y'all a summary of Planned Parenthood and how the black woman and the black man have been the primary result of Charles Darwin and his cousin John Gaston for years. Ever since they let us out of slavery, they came up with eugenics and Scientology to keep the masses from populating and to keep the masses from emerging as their higher self. I believe that our last staple inside the United States of America as black conscious people and being at large with oneself had to be up to date Black Wall Street, because even now we got Atlanta, Georgia. That's a prosperous black community. But why is that community so prosperous? Why is DC African American community so prosperous? Because they gay as hell. Okay? They gay as shit out there. Tell me how 80% of Atlanta, Georgia men are homosexual. Okay, got the facts on that. Tell me how 69% of Washington, D.C. men is homosexual. I want to know this. Yet and still, these are the only communities in America where black people are the most prominent and prospering the most. They letting y'all asses shine because y'all doing everything they want you to do. You're no factor to them. You're not trying to repopulate. You're not dealing with the woman. You know what I'm saying? You're not seeing the woman as God. You praising another man, which praises another man, which is their God, which is their Jesus, which is their Moses, and their shit. Ain't none of that African. Ain't none of that black power. Ain't none of that got nothing to do with you. Okay? The black woman is very important in the black community because she is the driving force behind the black man. And I can't say this enough. I believe that a lot of sisters don't know who they are, and it causes men not to know who they are. And the men not knowing who they are and the women not knowing who they are. And it's a lot of lost souls out there. You know, it's a lot of people that's believing in these false entities and praying and oh my God and this and that and getting on their knees every night and nothing's getting done versus looking in the mirror and realizing that they are the light. You know, you are a light entity. You know, you break your whole structure down and everything you see in the mirror, it'll come all the way down from the molecules to the cells, all the way down to an atom. And the atom never stops moving. The atom is always vibrating. An atom is always moving. You are always a moving, driving force. You are always energy. Always. It never ends. It never fails. You will never die. You will leave this plane, go to another plane, and possibly come right back to this plane. You're never going nowhere. Okay? Energy can't die. You cannot kill energy. You could try to contain it. You could try to slow it down. You could try to speed it up. But you cannot kill it. We are energy. I can't speak for the other bloodline people and other races and all that. And yes, we all are humans. If you want to say it, science says different. The real science, not that bullshit Charles Darwin science and we came from monkeys and all that. But the real actual science, the real numbers, you know, that says 99.997% of all Caucasians have rhesus monkey genes within them. Yeah, that real science, the real science, you know, that we all can come into fruition with after just reading a few books, doing some research, and, you know, knowing that 1 + 1 = 2, by the way. But that's just my little seminar for the day. You know, I just wanted to give y'all a heads up on the American Birth Control League. You probably never heard of it because now it's called Planned Parenthood, and their whole plan is to depopulate and to sterilize the African women and the African men. Point blank, period. Black power, people. Peace.